I just got a letter here, 2-3 weeks ago about a young girl that went through our school about 6 months ago, and she goes to Chico State up north, and she'd been home for vacation. Her dad put new tires and brakes on her car and everything, and got her car all fixed up for her to go. And she was on her way back, and she was on Highway 5 at 11 o'clock at night, and the left front tire left the car. And there was a CHP guy that saw it all happen, and he went up to her after the accident, and he wanted to know how she learned how to control a car like that. And he said, we go through a school at Sacramento for CHP officers, and we have to learn how to do that. Where did you learn how to? And she told him where she learned how to do it. So. Advanced driving dynamics was an idea I had back in 1995. I'd spent a lot of time doing training of race car drivers. I'd done the Long Beach Grand Prix Pro Celebrity race for quite a few years. And a friend of mine and I started talking about the real necessity was to teach kids how to be better drivers. I was tired of picking up the paper every morning and reading about some 16-year-old kid losing their life in a car accident. When I know that that's avoidable.
We're losing 6,000 students, 6,000 teens every year is because of this item right here.
And now we don't have driver's education in schools. At least back when we had it in high school, you had a teacher you spent a whole semester with, somebody you worked with at school, and at least it had some continuity. It's not like that today. It's just not.
When we first do a drive with them, they're sitting right here. When we're done with all these different exercises and courses, their appendages go out to each 4 corners of the car. We want them to hit a cone so they make the adjustment.
We believe in 2 things. A lot of time behind the wheel, because if they don't get a lot of time behind the wheel, they're not going to learn anything. The other thing we've done since the day we began is we will not take more than 10 students in a class. Reasoning is I want them to have a lot of driving time. You have too many kids, you don't get enough time to work with each individual. And then we take and we make sure we have at least 1 instructor for every 2 students.
Toyota's been gracious enough to give us the cars for this particular advanced driving dynamics. They've been wonderful people to work with. The product that we use gives the kids an opportunity to drive hybrids and stick shift cars and SUVs and what have you. So they leave here with a cross feel for how to deal with just about any vehicle they get into.
What we're trying to get them to do is open up their vision. It's expand everything to where they'll look and then they'll turn in that direction. They look over there, they turn in that direction, so they can see ahead in the road. You know, it's all about avoiding accidents.
Set and use their mirrors properly. And then they're going to do parallel parking. A little technique we have in parallel parking. Same thing, they each do a couple of them. And then we'll go out and we start some exercises. And the first one, if you can imagine this, is 5 cones in a straight line. They're about 25 feet apart. And they have to serpentine going forward through the cones. When they get to the other end, they must back through the cones without turning their head and only using the side mirrors.
So that they have a sense of what a car will do and what it won't do.
We go from that. We go and teach them how to drive stick shift. Each student learns how to drive a stick shift to where if they had to go home that night and drive home in a stick shift car, we're confident they can do it. And then we do some other slalom exercises, a large slalom that opens up peripheral vision. At the end of that one, we make them take out their cell phone and try to text us a message while they're driving through the cones. And at the end of that, we don't really have to say much because we got to go back out and pick up the cones.
If we're focusing on that one point, and that's where we want to go, then if we're looking at the big picture while we're driving, we see everything there is to see.
And then we take them out and we do a braking exercise. And the last thing we do at the end of the day is what we call spin and recover. We put the car out of control and teach them how to control the car. And after about 6 or 8 runs each, the instructors can't get them out of control anymore. And that's the desired thing we're looking for. And since 1996, The kids that have gone through our school averaging about 83% less citations and 92% less accidents.
My impressions are that the course was great. I learned a lot. I feel a lot safer going out into the road now.
It's definitely made me a better driver. I feel a lot more comfortable just behind the wheel.
And it was really fun.